So an interesting post by a content creator that I tend to go for my Phantom Parade news, who is also a Dokkan player, though may not be a Dokkan content creator currently, is Giku, who had made a long, detailed post talking about the possibility that this theory floating around on Dokkan Battle Twitter could be true, meaning that we might not actually be getting Super Gogeta as one of the main line DFEs. Let's talk about that. So before I read this post proper, just know that this is completely the work of Giku. I did nothing here. I don't know him. I don't really know anyone in the Dokkan space, nor content creator space in general, so all credit to them. I'm just reading it, thought I'd talk about it, thought I'd give some perspective as far as my predictions go, and as far as what I think they could do in place of a Super Gogeta, though I do personally believe it is a Super Gogeta. I did make a video prior saying that Legends and Dragon Ball tend to sync up, or Dokkan Battle tend to sync up a bit, so I was sort of expecting a Super Vegito from the Fusion arc, but let's go. Super Gogeta might have already been deconfirmed by Dokkan's Part 2 10th anniversary. The theory that the image size of the 10th Annie roadmap is significant has been circling around. The theory is small boxes equal an EZA or SEZA, and large boxes equal a new unit, free-to-play or summonable. That would mean Dragon Ball 1 new unit, GT 1 new unit, Saiyan Saga 0 new units, Namek 0 new units, and let's just go down really quickly to confirm that, by the way. Saiyan Saga and Namek, we already kind of know what this is, and we already kind of know what this is, so as far as this having any sort of credence, we can kind of paint a picture of, well, we do understand that if they do anything for Namek, it's probably the EZAs. It's what most people are suggesting or predicting, so something interesting there. Buu Saga, 3 new units, enough for side banner. Okay. Cell Saga, 1 new unit. Gohan maybe? He is a family, he fits into the family category, so that would make him a Carnival Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, possibly? Z Movies, 1 new unit, not enough for a side banner. Super, 3 new units, enough for a side banner. If this is correct, Super Gogeta cannot be the DFE and have a side banner unit, as there's only 1 new Z Movies unit. Only fusions are the DFE for the celebration from the info of the themes. Assuming this, there are 4 other possibilities. The Part 2 Dokkan Fest isn't the fusion, plus Super Gogeta is a carnival, so no side banner. The fusion isn't Z Movies or Super Gogeta. There is no side banner unit, or the side banner unit is not from Z Movies. If none of these possibilities above are true, all false, then Super Gogeta from the Z movie is not the Part 2 DFE fusion. Hoping he is, but if this theory is right, then he simply can't be, given all the 4 other possibilities are false, of course. This can be wrong, and Daddy Super Gogeta will come anyway, play Dokkan. So that's kind of an interesting thing to theorize, is that the Gogeta might not show up here, seeing as they have the new units sort of placed in these bigger boxes. We could see that these smaller boxes pale sort of in comparison to the obviously larger. What that might mean is, So one of my big things is I said that Super Vegito from the Future Arc could be making a stop in Dokkan. One of the things that we sort of know about this celebration is, of course, the regulations by which we are getting the characters at either a Carnival or Dokkan Fest level. The thing is, family and rivals is very vague, and one of the things you might be hearing a lot or seeing a lot is people talk about this idea of what does a rival mean? Well, let's go define rival by Dokkan standards so we can sort of piece that together. So if we are only going by Dokkan Battle's definition, this is not my definition. I think that the people who say, hey, Goku and Frieza sort of have a rivalry, sure. I don't think that Goku and Frieza are rivals, because if it is the case, then Goku believes that on his side and Frieza does not believe that. I don't think that Frieza has ever seen Goku as a rival to his power. I think he sees it as a challenge to his power, narratively speaking. But this is all fluff, ultimately, right? This is just my interpretation versus your interpretation. So if you think Frieza belongs in the rivals section, If you think that it could be Goku, Frieza for 10th Annie, sure. It ended off the most recent large-scale series in Dragon Ball. There's no excuse me. There's no reason that it can't be 10th anniversary. That said, if we're going strictly by Dokkan standards, we see that Boo, after he became good, it falls under this category. And typically, by the way, Dokkan tends to see rivalry as characters who were once evil and have since turned, I've noticed. So characters like Beerus, characters like Boo, characters like the Gammas were never evil, of course. Characters like 17 by the end. And I guess we can just peek through. We're going to look through every single one. Pick characters like Paikon were not evil, but he was against him in the other world. Still not seeing a single Frieza. We're going to go through last bit. Still not seeing a Frieza. There is no single Frieza in the Rivals tag. Of course, we do know where Frieza is, actually, and it's the Sworn Enemies tag. Frieza, Cell, Boo, Kid Boo, and Super Boo are characters who were faced with the narrative pressure of Goku and friends and remained evil. And that's a big narrative point, is that Goku is a finished character. He doesn't have much else to learn, but the world bends around him. Characters have to oppose his worldview. And it's actually interesting that Zamasu isn't on here in any way. But I guess maybe Zamasu, in Zamasu's case, he simply doesn't see them as people. You know what I mean? He is a god after all. But interestingly enough, this is all to say that they clearly do not consider Frieza a rival character to Goku or Vegeta or anyone, because Frieza himself narratively does not look at this as a rivalry. Does that mean this can't happen? Of course not. I could pull up the Goresh post, actually. And here that is. Goresh saying that after the 8th anniversary, I'm not really going to take any of the themes very seriously. They can drop whoever and force it to loosely fit literally any theme. Someone asked, Sin asked rather, what even was the theme for the 9th anniversary? Superhero? To which Goresh said, super. And that's true. The theme for the 9th anniversary was the word super. It could have been anything. They could have put any amount of characters from Super in it, and it didn't really need to fall under anything else. And what we ended up getting was the movies, but it didn't even need to be the movies. They could have put TOP characters in it. Kefla could have showed up. It would have been the same exact result. The reason I think that this is getting so sketchy for people is because they sort of see... And one thing that is interesting is... So, Minato says, another thing is that Kid Goku's biggest moment doesn't really fit either family or rivals compared to other options like Father-Son Kamehameha or Goku plus Frieza. I saw someone saying that Kid Goku only really considers Grandpa Gohan his family, but you could also just equally see it as Goku is a member of Goku's family. And I'm not saying any of this is true. This is all speculation. Do not flame me for Dokkan being inconsistent. I didn't make Dokkan. Do you think I made Dokkan? If I made Dokkan, y'all would be pissed, because there would be like 8 cells in the game. So let's stop capping. This would be the anniversary of Perfect Cell, First Form Cell, and God forbid, Second Form Cell. So it ain't my fault. But yeah, all that is to say, this whole video, this whole preamble is just to say that we do sort of have this interesting bit of speculation where if it isn't the movies, if the movie's character doesn't get the unit, then what happens? The theme is rivals and family and a miraculous power born from the strongest duo. The banner unit could essentially be anything. How do they fit it onto this? How do they fit it onto this list? Because we're going to get a banner unit for Majin Buu Saga. Hopefully it's not another Gotenks, because Gotenks does not need 18 more banner units. But it's looking very odd in terms of Dokkan's patterning if it's not. Remember, my big guess, if there's going to be a super new unit, is that we get the Easy A here, obviously, and then we probably get a Blue Vegito. What this ends up being is confusing to me, and what these two end up being is confusing to me. I guess if we're missing 3, they could do Super Vegito, the Kid Goku, and then Super Saiyan 2 here, and then these are free? No, this would be the banner unit. This would be a free unit? It's such an odd thing to think. Maybe it's a PyCon. Maybe it is a PyCon. Because one of the things that is set to EZA, one of the long-standing EZAs we need from the movies are the Janemba and the Fat Janemba and the PyCon unit. And we already have a very good Super Gogeta unit in the game. A Super Gogeta unit that's going to be linking with this guy and, you know, blowing the doors off. So, kind of curious. What do you think? What do you make of this information, I guess, is what I should ask. Do you believe the hype? Is it getting to you? Are you feeling that sweat tingle? I'm going to say that Dokkan is going to Dokkan. We're going to see Gogeta at some point. This isn't going to really matter. But I do think it's interesting because the fact that Super is getting 3 units and it's enough for the side banner, soft confirms what I feel is the case, which is we get a blue Vegito. And I think he'll be base. I think he'll just be like turn 1 blue Vegito. And if we don't, I think we'll get a Goku Black. I'm so certain that they're going to keep up this small pattern they have, matching up the Legends Fest with the anniversary. I feel that shit on my heart. I really, really do. But the more realistic part of myself says, yeah, it's Gogeta. He's getting in. So that's going to do it for today. Like if you liked the video. Subscribe to join the club. We all gonna make it, and peace.